Hi guys, I just wanted to check in with you guys for a short video. I only have two perfumes to discuss with you today, two recommendations, two perfumes that I've really been enjoying. But first of all, I would like to share with you that I finally sold the house. I know I've been talking about this in like every other video and all these showings, and it's been very frustrating. And I started the process back in August of 23. And I must have shown the house like 20 times by now. So it's been really hard work. And I mean, this of course follows interest rates, and probably you recognize this, the same pattern wherever you're from. But like nobody placed a bid on my house last year, or there was one that did, and it was way under the asking price, and it was a hidden bid. Like they wouldn't go public. And I think that the psychology of the whole, like buying property now has been like, no one wants to go first because it's scary. You want to like try the market and see what other people are doing, and then decide to like enter a bidding process. But to say the first number is too scary. So that's, a lot of people have been just kind of like holding on to their property, or, we'll wait until the prices of the property go up. We'll wait till the interest rates go down, so people can pay more, and yada yada. Anyway, finally, I'm just so happy, and I managed to, on the same day, also buy a new place. And I was planning on a place outside of town that would be good for the cats and with greenery around it, but I ended up, that's also been a process. I've ended up deciding that I needed a place in town. So now I'm in, it's in the southern part of Stockholm. I mean, it's in the city, but it's a special, we have our different parts of the city, and this is the south part, and I really happy with it. And it's pretty big, but it's still like less than half of the size of the house we have now, so it's going to be a big change. But I don't even know how many people are going to be there. I know it's going to be me and my 18-year-old son, for sure, and the cats, but then my daughter is probably coming home to stay for a year, but maybe not. And my 23-year-old is he's living in southern Sweden, but he comes home 3 weeks over Christmas, and he comes home maybe a month or 6 weeks in the summer, or he's in and out. And I do really want to encourage them to come home and spend time with me. So I wanted to get a place where everyone could fit, and everyone can fit in this place. So, and they're not that many bigger apartments in town. We have a lot of, single households and many small apartments. So I figured I better just get something, because this one buyer that was kind of interested, they were in the loop for a long time, and we had agreed, like over the phone on a price. They wanted to sign and everything, but they wanted to come and listen to the train, because we're really close to the train, and the train they've taken a break with the traffic because they've been like doing work on the tracks, so they weren't able to come and listen from the inside or the outside. But they came on Sunday. And I decided to have an extra showing on Sunday just in case they would pull out, because they've been so anxious about everything. So now finally another family ended up buying the place, that came and saw the house for the first time Sunday, and then they bought it on Monday. And that is really not typical, but that means that something is happening now on the market, because this has been so slow. So I just wanted to share that with you, because I'm just so happy, so relieved. It's been so much work. And now I know where we're going. The only thing that is not 100% clear is what date. And I'm hoping that the people that I'm going to move to that apartment will let me stay here, or let me move in June, because then I can have my son's graduation here out in the house, because we have a great outdoor area, like a big patio. That would be perfect for that. But if they don't, I'll be flexible, and I'll work it out some other way. That was that. And then I also actually reached my other goal, which was to complete my coaching course and get my diploma. So that's also done. Check. Okay, so my fragrance for today is from Etat Libre d'Orange. It comes in those darker bottles. I only have like a little vial of it. It's really strong. It's called Frustration, and it's a fragrance that I do recommend for Christmas, because it's nutty, it's vanillic, it has labdanum, it has rum, it has guaiac. It's just such a cozy, beautiful It's pretty strong. Like I don't wear this very often, and I don't want to buy a 100 ml bottle. Had they had smaller bottles, I would have definitely bought one because I think it's such a great fragrance. It's chestnut. Chestnut is a really good note, I think, in fragrance. It's so good. I love this fragrance. I have this much left, and of course it will probably last me 6 months because it's a little goes a long way. That was my dishwasher that opens up itself when it's ready. And the other thing beeping in the background is my my washing machine. Sorry about that. The other fragrance. Okay, so that was Frustration from Eldo, or Etat Libre d'Orange. The other one is called Kairos from Anatole Lebreton. I'm not quite sure where she's from, actually, but it's described as a gourmand vanilla. It's a little bit, but it's very, very different from Frustration. So they're not like the same type of fragrance. I wouldn't even say, does it say gourmand? Maybe I can't. Yes, it says, okay, so I'll tell you the notes and I'll tell you what it smells like. It has bitter almond, orange blossom, vanilla tonka, Peru balsam, bitter orange, and petitgrain. So I guess there are a few sort of overlapping notes. So this one has Peru balsam and the other one has labdanum. They both have vanilla. I don't know about the bitter orange, but this is kind of like, they're really, really different. This one has like a green and bitter opening, which probably comes from the petitgrain and the bitter almond and the bitter orange. And then I was like, ooh, I was a little on the fence. But then when it calms down a little bit, it reminds me of like a milkier, more vanillic version of Carnal flower. It's really interesting. I've only worn it once, but I think it's like, oh, what was this? This was something new. Even though it reminds me so much of Carnal flower, it's not like, it just reminds me. It doesn't mean it's the same. Thinking of Frustration, does it remind me of anything else? Not really. It's not like an amber. It's not like a balsamic amber with all these, even if it has labdanum, it doesn't have like, it's more gourmand. And this Kairos is, you have to go try it. It's really hard to describe it actually. But this thing with Carnal flower, I don't think I thought of it myself. I think I saw it on For Granted and I'm like, what? It smells like Carnal flower, because I wouldn't have guessed by the notes, because Carnal flower has like, I'm sure it has orange blossom, but that one has like tuberose, and it has eucalyptus, and it has like a lot, it has a very different, it has coconut. And this one just has, it's different. It's different, but it has something in common. I prefer this one. I have a small travel size of Carnal flower, and it's really, really well made. I just very seldom reach for these tuberose heavy fragrances for some reason. I'm not really into tuberose. I used to be kind of at the beginning of my niche era. I used to like tuberose, like Lys 41, which is supposed to be lily in French, Lys, but it's very much a tuberose fragrance, but that's a really good fresh one. My daughter loves that one from Labo, Lys 41. They're so expensive though. But these two fragrances, and I wanted to say something about the price. I promised you at one point that I would always try to, weigh the price in there. And I don't know the price of Frustration, but not terrible. It's not terrible for 100. But the problem is the 100, that it only comes in 100. That is a problem. This one, Kairos from Anatole Lebreton, is Fragrance and Art carries it, and they ship all over the world. You can check it out there. They sell them in 30 ml bottles, and I'm trying to think if it's an extrait, maybe. And the price is, I figured it out here in euros, about 125 euros, and about $130, which for 30, which is pretty expensive, but it's not hysterically expensive. And I know this Anatole Lebreton has one fragrance that is, to my nose, quite horrible. I can't remember the name of it, but it smells like super, super lipsticky, like the driest dry lipstick with no moisture, and you open it up and it's old, kind of. It's really strange, really, really strange. And a lot of my friends love that fragrance. So I think her fragrances are Anatole. I think it's a woman. I'm not sure. Anatole, maybe a woman. That those fragrances are a little far out, but this one's really wearable, I would say. I'm not going to go like straight out and buy it, but if by the end of my sample I still love it, Who knows? Who knows? I'm trying to keep my collection small, and I've been trying to go for travel size bottles. But I have bought a bottle too many recently. I don't know if I shared that I finally bought a bottle of Blanche Bette, a 50. I think I did. I think I did. And then I also got a travel size of 18.99 from, it's called 18.99 something, like Revolution or something like that, or something else, from Histoire de Parfum. And I realized that I don't really like it. It smells kind of like iris and cinnamon, like lots and lots of cinnamon. And it's just a weird combination to me. I don't think it's not a hate, but it's not a love. So, I mean, it was definitely kind of one of those things. I wanted to buy something, and I bought something, and it didn't really hit home. So I guess that was more than 2 fragrances. But the 2 fragrances for today that are my recommendations to try, not to blind buy. I never recommend blind buying. It just never worth it to me. Kairos and Frustration, those 2. Really good fragrances, and Frustration would be a perfect scent for Christmas. I'll either wear that, or I'll wear Oud Satin Mood, or I will wear, what else would fit for Christmas? Something boozy, maybe Cacao Porcelana, actually, or Livre Bleu, maybe. We'll see. Okay, well, that was a short video for today. I'll be checking in with you in the next couple days. At least over the holidays, I'll have more time to deal with it. And now that the house is sold, yay! So excited about moving. It's going to be a big project, just getting rid of things. You know, I was, the night after, I was like, I could not sleep. After I'd signed the papers, I was like, I was laying on in my bed, and my brain was just kind of processing things. I was moving furniture in my head, and I was, you know, what will I do with this couch? Will that fit there? Do I need to get rid of this? How will I get rid of it? Who will move the piano? You know, all these things. It's just so much. It took me like 2 days just to get back down on the ground, because this is actually the biggest deal I've ever made in my life. Even when I sold my company, this house is worth more than my company was. But of course, that was a nerve-wracking experience for another reason, because it might have not been worth anything. I mean, I knew that the house had a value. Like, it was only a question of this value or that value. But a company that's going kind of in the wrong direction could all of a sudden be worth nothing and go bankrupt. So that was kind of a different, and I was really dependent on that money to be able to stay in the house. And I had employees I was responsible for. I mean, we at one point were 30 employees. So not at the time of the sales. Then we were 24, I think. So we had already sort of started to cut costs and try to keep up with competition. But it was, I was in the grocery business. I sold dinner kits, I think it's called. They call it the dinner kit industry now. I actually started the dinner kit industry. Like, I sold ready planned grocery bags with the recipes to go with it. For example, you know, like 4 dinners for 5 people. No, 5 dinners for 4 people. That was our big bag. And then we launched, you know, bags in different sizes, and vegetarian bags and child-friendly grocery bags, etc. So, and then we had many people followed, or many companies followed and copied what we did. And the competition was just really, really tough. So I finally sold the company in 2017. And that was such a big relief, because I had also lost my spark for cooking. I still, to this day, don't think it's that fun to cook anymore, and it was my biggest interest. I was just as interested in cooking as I am now interested in fragrances. I mean, probably even more, because when you cook, there's so much doing and planning and learning. This is learning maybe, but it's not like, if you want to try a fragrance, you just go. It's just so easy. There's no work involved, kind of. So anyway, so I'm just really, really happy to have this done, and it's been a big emotional process for me. Okay, guys. Well, I'll wish you a Merry Christmas. If I don't check in before Christmas, I might actually do that. Well, I hope you have great holidays, all of you. Or if you don't celebrate Christmas, whatever you celebrate, you might be a different religion. I shouldn't just, you know, think that everyone celebrates what I celebrate. It's different. All right, guys, that's all for today.